Hey there! My name is Brandon Howe, and welcome back to my Making a Game series. In the last episode, we made a pause screen, so we can actually pause the game now and all of that. Cool. As well, we have a resume button. You can hit escape over and over to go in and out of it, and then another button that goes back to our temporary level select that does not exist yet. Alright, so in this episode, we're going to be replacing the rest of our enemies. So we're going to need to make 3 enemy types here. One for our normal enemy that can turn, one for our enemy that shoots, and then one for the enemy that combines all that. So, to do that, we're going to be hopping over into Blender. Now, initially, when I tried to do this, I tried to just do it without much initial planning, and it kind of did not go well at all. So I went and actually scoured the internet and then wrote stuff down on paper, and now in front of me I have a front, side, and top view for 3 different enemy types. The one that turns, the one that shoots, and the one that turns and shoots. And I can't really show them to you, but you'll see them in a moment when I've hopefully created them in Blender. Now we have 3 enemies to make, don't know how long it'll take, so let's get started. So this first enemy type, the one that shoots, it's kind of triangle shaped and thin, and then has a sort of cockpit thing that's going to be completely not see-through, so we're not going to be making... So it's like it's being driven by somebody, but we're not going to be making the interior for that. And then it has 2 jets on the side, and then the front of it comes down to a point, so it's pointy. The next 2 I don't really know how to describe. So the shot one has a gun, but it kind of has like also sort of a cockpit thing, but it's facing forward, and then a thing coming out of the back that then spirals around, like 4 things that spiral around to the front, and then that makes the gun. And then it also has like 1 jet thing behind it for how it moves forward. And then the third one that turns and shoots, it's kind of like a ball with spikes on it. Then also has a gun and a thing to shoot with. A gun to shoot with, but then also a jet to move. But then on the top, it has a big red eye. Hopefully, that'll look menacing, like it's a robot or something. So yeah, those are those, I guess. It took a while to be able to plan this, but anyway, here we go. Let's try and make them. So, first of all, we're going to be making the turn ship, so that's the thin, pointy one. So I'm going to scale that down. I'll call it body. Whoa, and then I'm going to go to here, and then rename this to body as well. And we'll make it purple, I suppose, like how it is in Unity. And whoa, things are kind of freezing up. All right, well then, anyway, so magenta color, I guess that's fine. So now I'm gonna go to the top view. I'm actually gonna start off by first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a loop cut in the middle, and then I'm gonna be deleting half of it and then mirroring it. But before I do that, I'm just gonna make the point part real quick. So I'm gonna extrude that out to there and then scale that 0. And then I'm going to go and remove doubles, and then I'm going to delete half of the ship. Actually, I'm going to want to turn on X-ray for that. I'm going to delete half the ship. Not like that, like that. Actually, let me go to vertex select, then select all of those vertices, delete them, and then now I'm going to go up to the modifiers panel and then add a mirror modifier, wherever it is, this, and then I'm going to turn on clipping. Alright, so now we got this. And actually, just to make things slightly easier, I'd actually rather delete this half the ship, so I'm going to do that. And that actually didn't make it, I didn't have to reapply the mirror modifier, that's fine. Cool. I'm also not sure if I undid that. No, I did not. Cool. So, now we're going to be making our ship. So, whoa. Yeah, so now, for starters, we're going to scale this in on the x-axis just a tad. And then this whole piece out a bit. I'm also going to want to keep them mostly square in size. Well, which isn't happening right now, but after I've made more of the model, I'll try to do that. Just so that they're, more square in size, as I said. Now I'm going to move this to kind of that halfway point there, so it's going to be negative 1.5. As well, I want this front bit to be more... I'm going to make it a different color because it's going to be kind of like a spike thing. So I'm going to add a new material. I'm going to call it spike. And then I'm going to make it a sort of gray and then assign that. Doesn't really look like a spike yet, but we'll deal with it momentarily. So next I'm just going to make the cockpit. I'm just gonna make it. I'm sort of making the rough parts of each part of the ship, and then I'll be adding more detail to all of it once I can sort of see how it all looks. So for this cockpit, I'm going to use an UV sphere, reducing the segments a lot because we're going for a low poly look. Yeah, so then now I'm going to delete the bottom half of all these faces here. I only selected half of them. Okay, this, and then delete faces, so that's half of them there. I'm also going to want to go to the top view and then delete all of these and then join it to the ship for having the mirror modifier. So all that, and then shift select both of them, Control J. Cool. Now I'm gonna add another material called glass, except it's not really gonna be glass. I'm gonna make it a dark blue, so it's kind of like glass but too transparent to see through. Now I'm gonna select all this, hitting Control L will select all of the geometry that's linked together, and then assign that. Alright, so now I also want to sort of shape it as I right is Numpad 3. I want to sort of shape it as I have it in my drawing here, which is having kind of how do I want this? So I'm also going to extrude that out a bit more as well, and yeah, back to here. Then I'm going to be selecting this top ring, which I can't do, and sort of bringing it all with proportional editing on. I want to sort of bring this whole thing forward, kind of like this, and then having actually, I wonder if it would work better if okay, actually I'm gonna be to make this work better, I think it'll work better. I'm gonna make the UV sphere again, assign it the glass, and then I want to I'll turn it this way. That might work better to have it come up and then slope down. Might just look better based on where the poles are. So now I'm also going to delete this bottom half of just the sphere. So I think hitting Alt H hides, nope, Shift H? Yeah, Shift H hides everything that's not what we have selected. So then I'm going to hide everything, select all those faces, and delete them. No, wait, vertices select. Then all of that, select them all, delete vertices. I think Alt H brings everything back. Now I'm going to want to scale this in on the x-axis a bit so it's actually in the area of our ship. And then in order to have it, let me try bringing this back like this, and then taking, well, the whole of this section and then scaling it in. Nope, on the y-axis like that. Yeah, I think that works. Maybe more. Cool. That works, but now we're going to want a lot more detail on our actual body to kind of match. So in order to do that, I'm going to select all of this and then drag it out to give it more depth. And then maybe I'll go Control B, turn on clamp. Just doing that, maybe. I think that works. We're also going to want this front bit to be a lot more like a spike. In fact, actually, I think what I might do is make it, if I can select the face there, I'll actually delete these faces here. I'm going to make a cone, and then I'll make this spike, make this cone the spiked part, and then I'll sort of add it to the body afterwards. All right, so now we're going to want to rotate it on the X by 90 degrees, bring it up over to the side view. My Numpad 3 button isn't working the best right now. It kind of fluctuates in and out between working and not, but oh well, that's perfectly fine. Actually, since it's going to be so small, we might want it to be made of less. I think it should be fine, hopefully. So I'm going to want to scale it to, actually scale it on the y-axis by 0.5 and scale it on the z by 0.25. Now it's the same height as before. Yeah, that works. So now we want to, not really, okay, that's not really as pointy as I kind of want it to be. Actually, we could make this front bit a lot more narrower on the x-axis. And then we'll be able to make the spike part more pointy. Let me just see how thin makes this how thin can I make this for it to look good? 0.6, I think that works. So now I'm going to want the rest of this to sort of match. And then I'll fix how it is with the palette thing in a minute. So actually, I guess we don't really need to... Actually, one thing I could try, I could take this, make that a face, and then extrude this. Actually, no. Inset it. I think if I hit, no, boundary, nope. Is there a way to, no, okay, sorry. So extruding it, then turning off proportional editing, scaling it in, just so that part's still connected in there. And then actually scaling it up in the Z-axis. Is there a way that I could, I don't know, kind of make this work? Maybe scaling that in. This, scaling it in the X. Actually, if I purposely have it like that so it kind of looks like there's a, well, yeah, sort of a hole there on purpose. I'm also just gonna hit F, add a face, make that whole part a face. Do this, thin it out, move it in. There, it could be like that, so it kind of has this big spike coming out. That could work. I'm also sort of gonna scale this back up and then scale it on. Or actually, I could try making it super thin, and then I could have more of them. Not that, I'm gonna have to, if I want to do it that. Oh wait, also this whole thing is getting mirrored. Actually, I'm gonna go to the mirror modifier, turn off clipping for a second. Select this whole thing, go out like this, and then I can have 3 spikes that aren't as big. Alright, that looks cool. So now I'm also going to select from there to there and delete those vertices just because they're getting mirrored anyway. Alright, I like that. It looks... See, also, this doesn't have to completely match what I've drawn. By having something that you've drawn and then are making that, and then if you decide that you want to change something, then you could potentially get cooler results. So I'm also just going to save this right now to enemy dash turn, just so everything's... All our enemies start with the word enemy, just so they're in the same spot alphabetically. So now we're going to want also a something on the, like a sort of jet thing on the back. So I'm going to go and add a loop cut like that, I guess. And then I'll go and, not that, I'm going to want to move this over, sort of make a kind of sphere shape, but I guess this is octagonal. And then I'm going to extrude that out. That works. And then inset this, scale it, or so inset it, select, wait, no. So, okay. Extrude by nothing and then scale it in. That has more of the effect that I was going for. And then I'm going to bring that in and then I'm going to scale it down. Cool. Except it might be a bit too long. So I'll deal with that by not there. I want to, bring this in a lot more, and then I'm also gonna want to move this in as well. Select all that, move that in all the way down there. Cool. As well, I kind of want this to be more rounded where it comes in, so I'm gonna try selecting all this and beveling it, hitting C and seeing how far I can go. Actually, just like that kind of works, but it's still not how I want it to be. So actually I'm going to add, I can't add another loop cut there, eh? Let me go undo before I bevel there, and then yes, I can add another loop cut there. And then take these 3 and move them in. Actually, let me turn on proportional editing again. Sort of move them in, or would out be better? Out might be better. So yeah, moving them out, but then taking these 3 just so it's more sort of a spherical. Actually, I could do that. Nah, I'll go make it more kind of spherical going out, and then adding a loop cut there. Cool. So that looks good from the sides, but from the top it still seems a bit plain. So we're going to want to find a way of adding more detail to the top there then. Let me try... Okay, that bevel's kind of messing things up. I'm going to undo our things before the bevel one more time again, just to Oh, and still having this on. What happens if I take this and kind of extrude it out like this? Could that look... Well, it does something interesting over there, but it also kind of messes things up. So, instead, just thinking of a way we can sort of easily add more detail and unevenness, I could take random faces and... Actually, I could give it two long things. Whatever. I suppose. What else can I try? Oh, right. I could also just take edges like this one and just sort of raise them up. That'll add more unevenness to it. And there's an edge in there. If I can grab that, adding... Maybe putting it in. Alright, I think that kind of looks good, but then I'm actually also then going to take the vertice that goes over here and raise that back up just so that's still getting covered. Oh, well, I've also, clipping's been turned off for a while, so I don't know if that's messed up anything. Let's hope not. It looks like it may have in here. So that's still, like, that is whatever that's connected to not. That's connected to over there. Is it? Yes. I don't know if anything's gotten separated, but for the moment, I'm just going to hope not. Now, why is that? Oh, that's just... That's not a problem. Okay. Cool. Well... I think that's good-ish. It's still not a square shape. Let me apply this, and then I could see if squishing it still makes it look good. So I went for 2.5, 2.5. The Z-axis, it doesn't really matter for it being squished. I could make it thicker. Wow, that's certainly interesting. I don't completely like that, but I might do that, apply it, and then edit it some more. So I might actually take these this turret part, or jet part, and then sort of turn it in, maybe. Actually, that could be kind of cool, because then if we have two jets, like one's going out that way, one going out that way, and then they kind of balance out, that could look cool. Perhaps. As well, this shouldn't be as tall anymore. But I still want this gun to, or this to be pointy. And I might actually take these whole parts and see how far I can move them out before. Oh, well, I can't really move them out that much. But actually, I'll take this and move it out more as well, just so the bases kind of still have... Actually, no, I kind of want them to start off thinner. All right. So, and then one more thing, I'll take this interior bit, if I can select that. And, oh, those are not really good in... doing good in there. So, actually, let me take those scale... Whoa, turn off proportional editing. Take these, scale, set the scale on these to 0, just so they're kind of flattened out. Let me guess, is over here. That's also weird. Which, trying to think of how I can make that not a problem. If I take these and set the Z scale to the same, so scale Z 0, they do have the same Z scale. So, okay. But this and this very much don't. So if I did scale them to be the same and then move them up, okay. That seems to fix that. I could also, I don't know, what else can I do? I feel like this, don't know if this is enough for having enough detail. I could add more rings on the side here, and then maybe I could do that. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, there we go. That kind of... Whoa, that's... I like that. All right, cool. Then I might scale these on... Not that. On this axis, sort of make them... How about I scale these two on the x-axis by 0, but then these two that go in here, I don't. And then I actually scale them in on this axis more. And that's too much. Okay. Actually, no. Or, yes. I'll take this, scale it on the y-axis by 0. Actually, does that affect that too much? Alright. Again, a lot of this is all just experimentation. So, yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, I'll just take this and then extrude that. That doesn't make a difference. Sorry, move that out just to give slightly more depth to this whole thing. As well, I could take these and move them in, or I could take, I could add a loop cut around the base here, and then, well, it looks better if I make them both thin or them both wide. Let me do that, but then I might also actually take the whole base and then make it more spherical. That might just look better. So selecting the whole thing, then going space to sphere, doing it a few times, kind of maybe helps. Doing that over there, this over there, this over there, this in there, and then trying that again. Oh, I wasn't even selecting the thing I was wanting to, but okay, 2 sphere, and this whole thing, and 2 sphere. Still not very spherical. Let's see what I can do to fix that. Alright, do those look better? I guess so. Also, I could add another thing there. Take this and this, and then move those out. And then I could add another loop cut. Actually, this and this. Move them out more. Taking this whole thing, make sure that's scaled out enough. It seems there's this part here is a little... Oh, I could add another loop cut there, and then I could actually then take these and move them out. And then I could also then take this and extrude it out once more and then have it go to a point. A pointy point. And then remove all the doubles on that. There, that kind of fixes that. Alright, so this is what we've made then. I guess it could still use some work, but I think it's fine for now. It would just be a matter of more fine-tuning and all that. And I might also take this and move it all the way to the end, kind of. But then make it not as pointy. Alright, so this is then, I ended up combining everything, so I don't need to call this body. I'll call it enemy turn. And this is our turn enemy. Color-wise, I might also change this. I can make this green, or I can make it red. I don't know if I want to use red that much, though. I could go sort of messing around with colors. I can make it black or white. Let's go with a yellow for now, I guess. That works, I suppose. Yeah, waiting for that to load in. Alright, so we got our enemy turn model in here. It's kind of sideways, but that's probably fine. Did I apply location, rotation, and scale? Yes, I did. Yeah, I think it should be fine. If I drag it in, yeah, it's fine. So, I think I'm going to make all 3 models at once, and then I'll sub all 3 of them in at the same time. That'll just be easier, I guess. So now we are going to make our shooting enemy. This will be an interesting one. So, just thinking for a minute. I think this one's we're gonna start with a sphere. That again, I'm gonna turn down a lot. And then I'm going to rotate it on the y-axis that way. Go into orthographic mode. I'm going to start off by giving this that glass color, which is just going to be a dark blue. So it's going to have again, sort of a cockpit type thing, but over to the side. And then I'm going to go and delete. Actually, wait, this is the front view. I want it to face this way. So like that, and then taking the top. That's still, so it's gonna be just like looking at this and figuring out how I want to actually do it. I think I'm going to delete all of this. Oh, and that turning X-ray on. I'll do that. Just preemptively. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to extrude it outwards a bit, and then extrude it again, move in, and then extrude it again, move out, and then extrude it again, and then start moving this way, and then be spherical, except it's then going to become more cylindrical, so that won't be a problem. Alright, so like that, and then this is going to stop being the glass color, so I'll make a new color that I'll call body, and then this is going to be, let's make it a whimsical green, I guess. Whoa, going into face select, I'm just going to select all these loops to recolor them to body. Is that everyone? I think not this one. Yeah, you also see it from the top view, so you won't really see that interior part anyway. I might make that interior the glass as well. No, I'll make it like that. All right, so now this thing that we have, I'm also going to, I guess, save this right away. Just, yeah, enemy dash shoot. And I'll rename the object to enemy dash shoot, not equals shoot, dash shoot, with proper capitalization. All right, so then now I'm gonna go to the top view here, and I'm gonna make all that a face, and then I'm going to move this back a bit more, and then I'm going to inset it all the way a lot. Oh, not like that. Actually, undo that, and then go do this again. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.1, oh, 0.6, 0.6. No, 1, 0.2, 1. Let's just go with 1, and then extrude that out. So it has this sort of thin portion there. That's going to be a lot thinner, like there. And then, okay, we're basically, this, how do I want to do this? Okay, so I'm going to go like this, covering another half, and then like this again, covering a third half. And then in this interior, or this triple bit here, I kind of want sort of to have basically a thing going around and then forward, and then that'll make the gun. And a thing here going around and then forward, that'll make a gun there. And I basically want then also two coming out around the top. So well, I think I might just, I could select these and then extrude them up and over. And then if I selected those for those, and then the sides of those four over to the side. Actually, I'm probably going to want to, yeah, I'll delete half of them and then mirror it now because that'll probably help. Actually, no, because then when I come this way, I want this to be all cylindrical, and I don't know if that will be, well, I'll just do it. It should be fine, hopefully. Now I'm going to add a mirror modifier, turn on clipping. Where are you? Z. Oh, it's because I rotated it? Yeah, they apply the rotation scale, then it should be on the X. All right, so now I'm going to go, I'll also just hit F there while I saw that, I guess. So then I'm going to take this, it's two faces there. Do I want this to be thinner? I'll make it thick, I guess. So I'm going to want to extrude it up, still having it in, over to the right hand side. Basically, okay. Then I'm going to want to make sure this is then rounded afterwards, but I'll deal with that when I get there. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to add a loop cut there and then make this spherical. Actually, I won't touch that bottom one, but I'll make this spherical. I'm going to actually take all four of these, scale them by 0, and then I'm going to just select, actually I want to move, I'll select all of these, and then go to sphere, which is going off of their centerpiece. Okay, so I'm going to want to then go to, if I click about there, actually if I select all of them and then go snap cursor to selected, then I'll go to the center of all of those, and then if I take the x-axis of where the cursor is and set that to 0, then I go and then set the pivot point to the 3D cursor, then I can go to sphere, And then that should go based off there, and then there. That's the circle I want. And thinner. Perfect. Now back to a pivot point of there. All right. So now, I'll just extrude this up and around, I believe. Yeah. So up. The Z. Do I want to just think of how I can make this look the most curved? Why isn't that automatically... Oh, hitting F there. Over to the side. Yeah, okay. I also don't think the normals are... Yeah, the normals are being weird. Alright, that's fine. Extruding this up. Actually, going back down here for a second. Oh, that... Because I didn't select the faces there. Yes. That. SZ, 0. Then to the side. Then up. There. I'm just going to recalculate the normals right away. And then I'm going to try and make each of these by like 0.2. Do it like a few times. Just so I think I have enough to work with going over. I'm going to use the proportional editing thing to see if this... Let's just see. If I turn this then... I can kind of... Okay, hold up. If I may move that down, turn it around, I still want those to be all spherical, though. I might have to do it kind of manually then. So then this is going to go in here like this. All of these kind of got destroyed, so I'm actually going to go and remove them. Dissolve, dissolve, dissolve. Actually, I'll keep that one. Actually, I'll keep both of those because those ones turned out kind of good. And now I'm gonna want to make. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get this. Actually, okay, I can just delete these entirely. Delete edges. No, delete faces. And then even though these are separated, I think from here it's easier to sort of turn it around like this. Does that look good? And then boom. Sort of going around and then looping back onto this part here. And then there and there. Selecting both of them, then going space, and then bridge edge loops should connect them like that. So that looks... Oh, and then also sort of moving that out. That looks good, I guess. As well, to make this a bit easier, I'm also going to delete the bottom portion of this, too. And that right there. And then mirror it on the Z-axis as well. Alright, so now we got two clampy things. I might actually... Then I also want this to come... I want another arm thingy on the side as well. Is there any way I can easily... I'm going to want to... Oh, yeah, so I'm going to have to make another arm, but I kind of want to just duplicate this same arm thing. So I will go and select all of it running along the top. I will duplicate it, go to the front, and then I'm going to set pivot point to the 3D cursor back to the center, and then, whoa, turn off clipping, then turn that way, except then I'm going to scale it on the Z-axis by -1, so it's on the same side as the stuff, the other stuff that we have that we're then mirroring. Hitting Control N so that the normals get applied, and then now we're going to want to connect this to the base. So we're going to want to then go, I'll delete these faces, and then select this, and select that, and then go bridge edge loops. And now that kind of looks the same. Oh, as well, I think I ended... Whoa. Oh, yeah. Making these a face. So extruding that. Oh, sorry. Turning on clipping. Taking... Whoa. Going out a bit. Turning on clipping. Taking this. Moving it down. Yeah. And then this to there. F. Select all that. Select all that. Face. Cool. So now we have this thing. And now we kind of want to have them all connect and then turn into one thing going forward. So I'm actually going to I'm just gonna make a new cylinder for a second to have the same number of vertices going around, I'll half that, going RX negative 90 degrees, turning off clipping, going like that, turning off clipping, and then going R90, and then bringing it over here, and then also coloring it the same body color. And then I also thinking that green might be green's a fine choice. I was thinking green. I was about to say that green might be a bad choice because green usually mean good things, but in terms of aliens, green is then also a color that we could. It'll work. Green will be fine anyway. So gonna delete all those faces there, and these two faces here. Set the pivot point of this back to the median. Take all of this, scroll it down a bunch, but then move it back over. Actually, moving it. Okay, yes, turning this back to there, and then scaling that down to like something like that. Moving it forward a bunch, going to the side view. So now this is going to be our sort of gun part. Turning this back to median point. This going. I'll make this more exact, not there, more exact on this 2.5. Yeah. All right. So now I also kind of want this to be longer, so I'm going to move this on the x-axis or y-axis by 0.5 the other way. Yes. So does that really 2.75? Yeah, it's fine. So that's good length. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to extrude it. Whoa, I'm going to turn back on clipping. I'm going to extrude it inwards. No, okay, so I'm going to do the thing again with the 3D cursor, except I'm going to move it, not that axis, out this way to -3 seems fine. I'm going to, actually, if I make this a face, no, that won't work. If I make that a face, if I extrude this down on the x-axis, on the y, on the z, all the way down it can go, then this bam, face, bam, or edge, now face. Now I might let me inset this. If I hit boundary, then it'll, go down based on that. Whoa, okay, that looks kind of cool, I guess. Boom, and then we'll extrude that inwards. That will be our gun, that'll be the part that actually shoots. So now we want to connect this to these three, and I'm not completely sure how I'm going to do that, actually. If it had the same sort of base going on as these parts, that might be how we do it. So I'll actually duplicate this set. I'm going to hit copy, and then, can I copy and then paste it? No, no, duplicate it. I don't know why. I'm thinking Photoshop for a second. Or any Word program. Okay, so now this. Now I might be able to turn this off again and not have to turn it back on immediately. So I guess I'll put it like there, and then I'll make those match in a second. But then this part, thinking, if I want this to then go and be bigger, so I could take this bridge edge loops, and then take this, move it out like that. That's not what I want. That's a bit big. So I might take this whole thing, go back to doing this because I was wrong, and then going like this, and then S, scaling that in on Shift Y. Whoa, I go S, Shift Y, holding Control, so it's kind of exact there. That looks good. And then moving this, bring this back over to this, moving this out, and then going like this and bridge edge loops, but then maybe making, I don't know, this smaller, or going to the y-axis and sort of moving it in. So, I don't know, that's a good effect thing, I suppose. And then also this part that doesn't even get seen anyway, moving that in and scaling it. Alright, so that's more spherical. So now, lastly, we're going to connect these pieces. So this part on the end, that can get scaled and moved in, and that also can get pushed that way. So then I'm also going to take this extrude it on the Z, down, and then this whole fiasco to make a face there. And then now I have to attach these faces. So I'll delete this, take these Z0, and then bridge the edge of loops. I can actually then delete these faces because I won't want them. Nope, faces, and then I'll also do the same over to these while I'm at it. Faces, and then going like this, and bridge edge loops. Cool, and then I'll make those that it match better in a second. Then this, delete vertices there and there, bridge edge loops. All right, and now both of these do not match. So what if I took these and tried smooth vertex? They try to go based on, actually, if I took these, put this individual origins. Oh, that actually does kind of help. Okay, cool. And then I'll do the same to here and up and here and there, and then go smooth vertex. Cool. Repeat multiple times. Okay, yeah. That. All right, that works. That's interesting. I kind of want not so much space between the gun part and the cockpit, so I'll grab all of this, everything that I want, yes, and then sort of move it in. All right, now I feel like that's good. Actually, this back area is kind of a little bare, so I'm going to go and move out, in, out. Okay, actually, if I'm going to add 3 of this and then take both of these and then move them in or out. Actually, I might move it out so you can see it more. Actually, no, I'll move it in. Yes, and then I'll actually take this part and then maybe scale that in. Move it that way. I don't like how that looks there, so let's try this. And then bevel that part. All right, that looks interesting. And then lastly, we just want to finish off a sort of jet thing here. I might also, just to help with this being more square-like, take this whole part and move it in as well. Well, not all of that. Just, yikes. I just want the distance from there to there to be not as much. So if I maybe just try taking this and scaling it on the y-axis with proportional editing turned off, scale it like that, and then do that, and then this whole stuff. No, okay, I'll undo that, just selecting all of this and then moving it in. Not selecting this part, moving that all, and selecting these two, move them in a bunch, and then now I have to fix these. All right, there. Maybe I'll actually get rid of one of these loop cuts, delve edges. Actually, then those aren't the same. Actually, I might need to change it the same anyway. So I'm gonna, dissolve on the edges, take this part, move it forward. I don't know if I got rid of the right one, but hopefully. So that there looks about the same again. I'll take this, move it forward, and kind of in a bit, and this forward, some slight adjusting as well. I'm gonna take this, move it back, and then rotate it on the not extrude, rotate it on the x-axis just tad. All right, so then finally for this small jet thing, I guess we'll go like extrude and on without proportional editing on, sort of scale it in, going to back view, this, and then do that, and then sort of extrude that in as if it's, yeah, place for whatever thing to be coming out of this. I guess I can do that, or yeah, I'll do that out and then add more detail here. Actually, I could take this whole section and then extrude that out, or maybe extrude it in. That looks nice. All right, just random extruding and moving around can sometimes look pretty, I guess. All right, so finally, that does it for this. Wow, that took quite a bit. I also think I might add sort of a secondary color to it. So I'm going to go body 2. This might not work, but I'm going to make it a gray. Just add some sort of gray spots to it. And I think sort of like these internal areas like this. And maybe I'll make, even though you won't really see it, probably this part and this part there. Oh, I also, wait, we got a problem first. I see that something happened over here that I didn't notice. So let's fix that. Whoa, what did happen? Everything from there to there, it seems just needs to get shifted forward. Okay, that's fine. No big crisis. All right, now we're going to select a bunch of these sort of interior faces and then give it this body, like this, yeah, secondary body color thing. That might just look nicer. And then I guess I'll do it in here and there as well. Actually, maybe not on that part, just there. All right, and then I may as well do it. I'll do it on the inside of this barrel as well. Any other spots of interest? What if I did it there? No, it doesn't look good there, but I can do it on this interior spot here. Does that look good? I think so. I just want to see what it looks like if I do it there too. I can't tell if that looks good or not. I'm just gonna go with this as is. All right, so we got enemy 2 done. One final thing, I'm just gonna move this out in just so it's more, yeah, so that's not just a flat section. Yeah. All right, so we got enemy 2 done. That also turned out different than I thought, but this, having a drawing definitely helped with these bits. That was an interesting, I don't know, thing to try and test out, and it's kind of worked. So going back then into Unity, letting that compile in, and now we're going to go straight on into making enemy number 3, which I think will be easier looking at my drawing here. Easier, but it'll look more menacing and whatnot. So it also starts off with a sphere that I'm going to make this cut down and this cut down, but it's also going to kind of use the cube, so I'm not deleting it yet. I'll scale it to 2 because we're also going to want this thing to be a lot bigger. I'm going to put this cube there. Actually, I'm going to scale it by 0.15. Move it up. Actually, scale it by 0.25. Sort of putting it in here. And then I'll be removing the top of that sphere in a second, but we're basically going to turn this into like an eye that's kind of on the top. I'm also going to hide the sphere just for a second, and then I'm going to make the eye. So we're going to make this. Okay, so we'll make the body material. Whoa. The body material first, which is, I guess will be, we want this to be menacing. We can make this guy black, but he also will be worth the most points to destroy, so maybe making him more colorful could also help. Let's go with, or we can make him red. No, the eye's going to be red, so we'll make him, let's go with cyan for now, I suppose. A bright cyan. That's not bright at all. We'll go with bright cyan. I'll probably change it later when we make more of the rest of it. And then we're also going to want material for the eye. And then I'm also going to, and that's going to be red. And then I'm going to make another material for the pupil. And then that's going to be black. Oh, actually this part specifically is going to be the eye part. And then I'm going to go and inset this. Oh, not like that. Inset this 0.1, 0.2, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. 0.8 works. So that'll be our eye. And I'm going to make that like that. And then I'm going to extrude that up just by 0.1. And then I'll also color all of this, that color as well. So we got our sort of eye thing. And actually, I'm going to do something actually a bit different. I'm also going to extrude that in and then take all this and scale it out. That's not what I want at all. Okay, let me back this up for 2 seconds. I want to take this sort of, back to when it had that color. I'm going to take it inset it in by, let's say, 0.1, and then extrude it in by negative 0.1, and then, then color that red, and then inset this by 0.9, 0.8, 0.8, that might be too small, so I'll go I by 0.75, and then make that black, and then extrude that out by 0.1, and then color this base black. There we go, we got our nice handy dandy red eye. So now I'm gonna join it onto this cube, and then now we're gonna, I think we will, actually what way do I want this sphere to be facing? I think we'll want the spheres facing the top, and then that'll go at the side. Sort of looking at my reference material here. Alright, so I'm gonna go all the way around, selecting all this, delete that. Now we got, actually just deleting the faces, and then I'll mold this to sort of fit that eye shape. I guess actually I'll move it out and then down, and then I might take this part of this and move that all down, and then I might move this whole thing down collectively. Yeah, as well. So if this is our front direction, this is top, we kind of want the eye to be sort of looking at menacingly at the player. So I'm gonna take this and sort of move it down, so it's kind of looking down, and I think I might also make that bigger because it's mad. Actually, scale it, shift that so that it's only scales on those axi. I don't know if that's even the proper word for it, but we can also maybe animate that to move back and forth, but we won't worry about that for now. I'm also going to save this as enemy dash turn and shoot. Cool. And then also rename this up here to enemy turn and shoot. Okay, so I'll worry more about how the eye connects to the body in a moment, because I might make it more properly connect, I guess. But I'm gonna make the gun and jet part and the spiky surrounding that I have here first, just to sort of see what that looks like, and then yeah. All right, so we're going to. I'm also gonna actually wait till later to apply the to make a mirror modifier, which I probably will do, just to sort of, because I saw how well that worked last time, and I needed to. I made a bit of a hassle with using or with changing this over and over, so we won't worry about that for now. So I'm gonna do this. Actually, no, this I'm gonna want to make it a lot more spherical. Yeah, so I'm gonna go this, then to sphere, make this whole thing spherical, and I'm actually gonna try and make, and that move that center. So everything, not selecting the centerpiece. Okay, this, I'm actually gonna select this ring around here and try to see what that looks like if I two-sphere it. Yeah, alright. There, then selecting this whole loop, making it a sphere, and scaling it in, and then selecting actually this whole set of 4 faces, and then extruding that out a bunch for our gun here, and then and then taking all these 4, insetting them in, and then extruding that back out, and then I'm gonna scale that down a bunch. Cool. So now we have our sort of gun thing, which I think looks a bit too long, so I'm actually also going to, turning on this, take this from here, and then move that in a bunch to there. As well, just to give the gun some more added detail, I'm going to make a torus, which I'm going to also set this to having half and half. And then I'm going to rotate it on the x-axis by there. And then I'm going to zero all this out, go to the side view, and then I'm going to add 2 rings? 2 rings, yeah. So going linked duplicate as well, so they kind of stay the same. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to apply this thing's scale and rotation and scale, and then duplicate it. Whoa, Actually, no, I don't want... I want this to... the origin to be kind of where it is. And then Alt-D, and then move it over here. And then I'm also actually going to go in here and sort of scale it down. And then this, I'm going to take... I'll make 3 loop cuts. And then this one and this one, I'll scale it in. Just kind of... I don't know, maybe that looks cool. Then I'll scale that in as well. And then I'll give these the body color for now. But actually, I'll make it... I'll use the pupil color to make it black, even though it's not... Actually, I could make it red. I'll make it black for now. So now we have that. I also think that this whole loop should possibly be a lot smaller. And then out more. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, that can go really far down. And then go in. Yes. Actually, if I do that, then I will take this, scale it in here, and then move it over in. No. I will scale this one down as well. Yeah. All right. Taking that. Boom. So that exists. Now we're gonna want to make a jet thing at the back, which is gonna be kind of similar, but not exactly the same. Which I can also inset that and then move that out. I don't know if that'd help. But so I'm gonna do actually selecting everything but this piece there. 2 sphere, that, and then I'm gonna make this actually also really small. Actually, yeah, see, if doing that kind of might mess up the sort of sphericalness. So I might actually go and... Actually, no, I think it's fine. I think I could add another... I could add some rings if I need to add more detail if I need to. So taking that, scaling it on the there by 0. Then I'm going to go and extrude it out a little bit, and then extrude it out a lot, and then scale it up. Because it'll sort of have this sort of effect where it sort of gets bigger. And then I'm also gonna, I'll make a few more loop cuts, sort of have it do this kind of effect. Maybe, yeah. That worked. There we go. It's interesting, I guess. So then I'll take this whole thing, and then bring that into the scale that down a whole bunch. Cool. I'm also gonna add a loop there and then move that out. Cool. And actually I'm gonna do the same over to here because I think it kind of looks good. All right, so now we got that all going on. I'm also gonna add the toruses. I'm gonna join them to the rest of this. What else now? Now we're gonna make spikes, I guess. I'm just gonna use a cone for that. Vertices going down by a lot. Actually, I'm gonna go even more since more, because it's gonna be very thin anyway. So now I'm gonna move it off to the side for a second. Take this, scale it in a bunch. Taking the whole thing, which I'm also gonna color black. Actually, no, I'm gonna color this one red. Boom. And I'm gonna put that in there, and I'm actually gonna put it up here. It's gonna have 8 spikes in sort of the 8 corners, but not corners, I guess. So then I'm going to go duplicate this, move it over here, rotate it. Actually, this might be the stage where I want to mirror, just so it looks nicer. And it's for sure duplicated, or it's for sure mirrored there. Or I mean, actually, some asymmetry could look cool. That's an option too. There we go. So that we have that going on. Actually, if I take all this and did this, and then actually went duplicated, and then went x -1. Oh, and then if I went not there on the x part, set the median to negative. Now it's on the exact other side. And then going Control N so that they all so to invert the normals there. All right, so now we got this thing. Looks interesting. And then to add some slight more detail. Oh, right. Actually, do we want to? Okay, I was thinking I was going to connect the eye, but actually it could be its own separate thing. Thinking for a minute. I think I will try and connect it. I also kind of wanted these lines that go in, have them actually be kind of visible. Let's see if we can get that to happen. So just doing that, well, that's not what we want. If there's a way that I could take this and have the be almost, and then this, and then also have it be sort of almost there, but not really. Actually, if it's that close, then you might not be able to actually notice it, so I might want some more spacing just to be consistent. And then this can be off a bit as well if I mirror it at the end. Then I take this, and that there, and then extrude those up on the z-axis. If I take those and if I color it black, then you will be able to see it a lot better too. So in there, taking all of these parts and also coloring them black, just so that they sort of have that depth to them. Almost there. Setting all those to black. Alright, that looks nice actually, I would think. Cool. So now finally we'll connect the eye to the rest of the body. This one actually, yeah, did not take as long, which was nice. So how exactly do I want to do this? So I'll take these three, the scale on the y-axis to 0, moving it to about there, and then I'll do the same for these three. Not the fourth ones. And then setting the y to 0, and then moving it so it's about in the same spot there. And then I'll do the same to these three. I'll go on the top view to do this one. Actually, I could have gone to the top view for all of them, but oh well. Moving them there, and then taking these three. Actually, those are the correct ones. I did not need to grab 4 there. Yeah, Z, Y, S, X, 0. Moving them to about there. Yes, and now these corner pieces of the circle. Actually, I'm going to try something. I'm going to move them to their about approximate the positions that I want them to be in, but in order to do it quickly, I might be able to take them all and then sort of scale them, and then bam, they're all there. All right, so now we have, this is about a square. Yes, and now we want to join it to the other square. So I can select the bottom face of the square that we had. I'll delete that. That is, what happened there? Oh, that's a non-planar face and all that. Blender does not like. I think it is. Yeah. So now we're gonna take. Oh no, I just didn't delete the face that I thought I did. I guess. Let me select all of this again. Go out. And oh, because there's more faces here and here. Scale that. And then go and select all of this and sort of... I'll go and... I could either bridge the edge loops or I could merge them. I'll bridge the edge loops first for now. Oh, that's not nice. Alright, I'll have to do this manually. Actually, what I could do is delete this and then merge... how do I want to do this? Okay, no, better idea. I'll select these 4 and then these 3, merge those, selecting these 4, and then merge these, and then do the same going all the way around. Merge those, and then select these 4, merge those. Alright, so now that we have that, now I can just take this whole thing, this top part, and then move it back down. And bam, now the eye is actually properly connected. Furthermore, actually, I wonder what it looks like if I have it sort of... I could have it sort of inset. That could look cool. So, yeah, the eye's actually inside. So, I didn't just undo all that, did I? No. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And actually, I think I will do that sort of insetting idea. So I'm going to want to take... I'll take this whole loop around and make it bigger than the eye is. And then being... careful about what I select. Selecting all of this. And I'm going to want to select all of this without selecting that bottom loop. Which I think... Oh, there. There, I think I got all of it. And then I'm going to move it down like that, just so it's kind of in. And actually, now I'm also actually going to select this outer bit, and then I'm actually going to move all of it down just so that it kind of rounds to the top. Ooh, that doesn't look that good. Let me try scaling this part back in and see if that helps. We're about to find out. And then scaling it down more. If I control B it? No, that's okay. Actually, what if I dissolve these edges, and then that goes to there? Oh, then it kind of flattens at the top. That actually, I think I like that. Although I don't know if I like whatever is going on over here. If I take all of these and then S said 0, now they're all flattened out, so then their faces are proper. Now I could lift them up and then have that be in, or I could lower it and have that be. Yeah, so I'll lift that up there, and there now. That is what we wanted. And then I could... there's more, yeah, fiddling that I could do. So now, this is what we have for an enemy. Oh, one final thing. I wanted to add some kind of sort of stripes down the sides to add more detail, and I guess I'll make them black since that's kind of our detail color. As well, I guess I'll... Again, you'll also never see this enemy from the bottom, but I may as well just sort of color these. And then I might also go and the loop there, and then all of these four, and then this going up, and then these two, and then these ones here, color all that black. So now we got this going on. And what happens if I can make this part black as well? That is an interesting enemy. All right, I think that looks good. Now, the only then worry is it not being square at all. So let me also apply the rotation scale. Do I want to do the mirror thing? I feel like, you know what? I'm not going to bother doing the mirror thing. If things are slightly asymmetrical, then that just adds to its level of detail. So now I just want to see what happens if I tried to make all of these have the same scale. So yes, it's going to squish it. Actually, how much do I care for that? I could actually make this enemy, like, this enemy doesn't have to be square. I can have a sort of a box collider going around here, and I think that actually would be fine. But I think I still will just shrink it a little bit, but not too much. Actually, one thing I might test. What does it look like if I have this actually going in? So, like, if I had, actually, if I scaled, oh, then I could scale this part up a bit, which might look good. If I scaled this up a lot, went to the side view, and then took this whole thing, and then move it, and this one there, and sort of move it in. That actually could also work as well. And then I could do the same to the gun. Then that would reduce the amount that does that it is sort of stretched. Just so our enemies are more uniform. Also, then it looks like, yeah, it's kind of like a robot. It has all these parts sort of coming out of it, which could be an effect that we want. Also do that, and then I think I'll also sort of bevel these out. Also, because some of these are black, it's kind of hard to sort of see. Oh, I didn't that's like this part. Okay, I think I might mirror it anyways, just sort of help with that. That seems to be fine. So taking all of this, and then if I control B it, and then hit clamp, that looks like that. That looks fine, I think. Then I'm going to go and do the same for this side. Alright, we got our enemy. Is that fine with that being flat? I think it is. Yeah, I think I kind of like it. Yeah. Alright, so we got enemy numero 3. I'm actually just going to change this because we use it for way more than the pupil. I'm just going to set it, so body second, or I'll call it stripes. And then I'll call this spikes. Just because. And then I also now might experiment with more color choices as well. So, okay, we got all 3 of our enemies. So now we have our enemy turn, our enemy shoot, and our enemy turn and shoot. That they actually turned out quite well. I'm not going to animate them again for now. There's a way that you can set a preset so that this has automatic settings when you go to import something. So I don't have to keep resetting all this stuff each time. I just keep saying, oh, next time we'll then be finally animating stuff. Oh, next time we'll be animating stuff. And then we don't. So I don't know. I keep doing that. But oh well. So doing that for all 3, which is going to take a few seconds. Polygon that is self-intersecting has been discarded. That probably means that we have doubles. Of which one? The turn and shoot. So I'm actually going to go just fiddle with that. This, and then I'm going to hit remove doubles. Yeah, there's some to be removed. I'm also just going to make this slightly bigger and see if any get removed. No? Alright. Just, I don't know where those were. Hopefully those were not important. And yeah, alright. That's just sort of cleaning up our model a bit. So now we're going to quickly go in and replace all of our models. And we're going to go into the prefabs to do that. So for our enemy turn, we're going to open up that prefab, and then we're just going to drag our enemy turn as a child object of it, scale it. Oh, I'm also just going to, usually I think Blender, I'm going to scale all these by a factor of 0.5, because I think, oh yeah, usually when you make stuff in Blender, they're about twice the size as when they import into Unity, and I believe all of these, we also made them pretty big anyway, so I'm just going to do that, and hopefully that'll just save us this ever so slight bit of having to rescale stuff. And that actually kind of worked as well as we wanted it to. So now I'm going to, yeah, remove this box collider. Not the box collider, I meant remove the cube part of it. And then readjust the box collider. Alright, which should be easy. The Y, so the Z, adjust it to there, and I'm going to have to move it a bit to be aligned with the spikes and all that, which is fine. Just sort of messing with values, so it seems, well, those values work. The Y part doesn't really matter because our game is 2-dimensional, so that's fine. And then I want to scale this out by about, actually, I'll move this back a bit and then turn that to 0.7, 0.6. Just, again, breathing room is handy. Are those fine? I'm going to hope that those are fine. I think it's just the sort of lighting in this new scene that it makes for you to edit prefabs. It just looks a bit weird, but with the lighting in our other scene, it should hopefully be fine. 1.1, 0.2, that works. We can fine-tune this stuff later. So there, we have our enemy turn in. Nice. And now for an enemy shoot, going in there, it's prefab, finding our enemy shoot, dragging that in, and again the size is almost about what we want it to be, so that's nice. This one, it might have to be modified a little bit more, but I think I'm actually fine with this being a bit bigger, because if it shoots it's more hazardous, but it's more dangerous, so making it bigger makes it a bigger target, so that might just be good. Also, I guess not having all our enemies be the exact same size. So now we'll go and modify this box collider. So that about to this. Let me go to the top view here. And 2-dimensional. Scaling that. We're going to have to move that forward. And then, whoop. All right. Like 0.5 and then 0.5 there. And actually that means I'm going to move that down then. And then I'm going to take this and make it out. That might also actually be a problem with it, these sections over here. So what I might actually do is have a lot more lenience on where you hit the gun. When moving it, actually, I might just make it 0 and then go 1.15 over, maybe just a little bit bigger like that. That seems to work. You could also, if you wanted to have even more lenience for like the player, you could make 2 colliders, one that if the player hits then they die, and then a slightly bigger collider that when a shot hits it destroys the enemy. You could do that as well. So now we have our enemy shoots in, and now we're going to want to find an enemy turn and shoot. open that up, and I don't see, or, oh, never mind. Actually, yeah, or open up an enemy turn and shoot, and then do the same thing. Put in our model here. Ooh, and this one's a lot bigger, but I said I wanted it to be bigger, so that's perfectly fine. So now, I'm going to move this out. Actually, I'll make this one too as well, and then going to top view. Whoa, down. Oh, I'm also going to get rid of the other cube. And then we're going to make this a lot bigger. Over, like, yeah, 2.2, and then making this a lot wider. It's consistently wider, so box collider is fine. You could also have more than one collider. Like, I could make, like, a sphere collider here, and then a small box collider here, a small box collider here. But I think that this is fine for what we need it for here. So I'm also going to... Yeah, I'll do that. And then also one... Just one. All right, that seems to work. So now going out. Cool. So now we have all our 3 of our different enemy types. Let's just test them out. I expect we're going to have to do some troubleshooting, but we're about to find out. So now going in, we have our hazards and our player ship, and then we have our enemy shoots coming in. Then we have our turns, then the shoot ones. They look cool. Oh, wow. I actually really like our extra menacing these guys. Now, I think I might actually make the turn enemies bigger because I want to. I think it'll look better. Going over to our enemy turn, just because they seem a bit small relative to everything else. So I'll actually go 1.1, 1.2, 1.2, 1.2. Actually, I'll make it 1.25, 1.25, 1.25. And then going out of here, and then rescaling this. Actually, I should be able to technically multiply this by 1.25, and then it should be the same as it was before, times 1.25, and then the y-axis doesn't matter. Yes, and then, oh, times 1.25, I guess, which shouldn't really make much of a difference, but there we are. So now, cool. Now, is there any coloring changes I want to do? I don't, I think the, these guys might actually, right, I didn't, I will go and do this and set up the materials. So the body of this, I don't know if I like yellow. I think, what could we do? So I know the glass is going to be, we need a dark blue color. I'll go make that. So blue, duplicate that, make it dark blue, make it just the same blue but darker. All right, then back to our models, going to our enemy turn, setting the glass to be this dark blue, setting the spikes to be our gray color, and then the body, just experimenting. I can see what orange looks like on this guy. So now applying that, and then going to our enemy shoots, glass being the same dark blue, our body being, we made that green, and then our body 2 being gray as kind of a supporting color. Then waiting for that to re-import, and then this enemy turn, our body we made cyan, and then the spikes we made red, and then the stripes we made black. Waiting for that to then import in a second. All right, now that doesn't really make much of a difference, but it looks slightly different, I guess. Yeah, these guys are fine being orange. I don't, yeah, the other guys shoot orange shots, so it's good for them to not be orange, I guess. Let me just throw some random colors on here and just see if something looks cool. I could potentially go with that. I could also, what do these look like when I make them back purple again? That does look more alien-y, I do have to say. Oh, I could go with that. Actually, what happens if I made that green and like that purple? No. I could also make a different spike color. I could use the glowing color. That's an option. Could also make those brown. Ooh, that actually looks more better. But also our player ship is brown, so maybe not. Black looks nice. Actually, black for these. Is that gray? What does white look like on them then? I might make those black then. Yeah, so I'll go with that. And I think I might... Deciding. Just... Yeah, I'll leave those with green, and then I guess I'll leave this back as the orange, but I will change the spikes to black. So this, spikes, black, and am I sure? I don't have any red. You know what? I can go red. Let's see if that's fine and dandy, except this one doesn't get updated because of just the way that the rest of them are. So, and then actually another thing, actually, what if I made this supporting color? If I made that red, what does that look like? Might look Christmassy. We're about to find out. It is a nice sort of highlight, except then I definitely want to change this. I can make, what happens if I make this the purple one? Purple and red, and then normal red. If every enemy has a hint of red, then they look more enemy-like. That, I don't know, might just be something. So now I'm also going to want to make this enemy. I'm going to go and override revert, so it has the same data as the rest of those. Alright, so we got our red. No, I'm still not happy with that being red, because... Okay, I keep changing my mind, but I don't necessarily want everything to be red. Just because. So, instead, stalling for time, I'll make that purple. Maybe. Yeah, I can make those purple. They're super alien-y. Then I can go to this. And what happens? Maybe I can make this cyan. And then I could make our third enemy green. Boom and boom. How does that look? Waiting for it to re-import. Oh, I do actually kind of like those as green. Even more so. So, but then this guy as cyan. One last change. But yeah, so anyway, I might just keep fiddling with these colors. But anyway, so that'll do it for this episode. Next episode... next episode we're going to work on making power-ups for our player. We'll make one that gives you a shield and then one that improves your gun somehow. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright, so... Still not happy with this. Oh, actually... Actually, okay, I'll make that black. And then, what's the one color I haven't used? Making this... I don't want to make that cyan with the dark blue being used on... that. So I might go then and instead make... I can make you orange instead. Ooh, okay, you look fine as orange. And then I could also change the shot to a different color as well. Actually, I can make the shot red. Yeah, I'll make the shot red. Then that fixes any of those problems. Cool. So, yeah. Alright, there we go. So that's all done. Finally. I'm happy with those colors. Cool. So that'll do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day. Whew.